As this podcast, the co-hosts as well as the audience seem to be appreciators of John's and fun knickknacks, collectibles, and whatnot, I felt like it was appropriate, gentlemen, to start this week's episode with an incredible gift that was given to me by my lovely sister, who was just in New York City this past weekend. She said she saw it, she thought of me, and now I am the proud owner of a Max dressed as Powerline mug from a Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
In all its glory. Now, you can only see this right now if you are watching the podcast live recording on On Lansdowne on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon there to be notified whenever we go live. If you're listening to the podcast afterwards, well, then you're just missing out on this marvel, this absolute beauty of a mug that I'm too afraid to use. Either I'll drop
Looks
it.
big.
It's a girthy mug there.
How many ounces? We talking like 16?
Oh, fuck if I know. It's definitely
18?
an abnormal one because as you can see Max's nose here, it actually, in the mug itself, like it indents into there. Like it's hollowed out there. It can hold liquid in the nose.
Interesting.
Fitz, is that dishwasher safe?
I would guess no. Listen, she didn't give me the manual for it. It is in celebration of a Goofy movie's 30th anniversary, as you could tell there. And Jake, we were talking off camera. It's about time that the Disney company realized how much of a fucking banger that movie is.
No, they make a lot of they're like pumping merch for it. I actually, when I was in California last year, I bought several Powerline pins. That I think I bought 2 that they were selling in one of the pin stores. So, it's about damn time. It's about damn time.
Absolutely.
Fitz, when's the live action coming out?
2029, if you bother to look at my bio on Twitter.
This is the date in your bio?
2029. It's been cut out a couple of times. The union strike kind of pushed things back. Understandably so. We stand with COVID, the writers and all the actors. Yeah, COVID. We're getting some strong pushback from the pro AI community that have been trying to develop the script. We're developing this in-house, and we want to make sure we do right by the story. So if it takes longer, if it gets pushed out past 2029, then so be it. I'd rather that than rush out some slop. What's
the budget at right now?
Yeah, Fitz, is that a GoFundMe? Is that a Indiegogo that you're funding?
No, a couple of angel investors. I'm not at liberty to share where this money is coming from per se. But it's got a strong enough of a backing. We're at about somewhere, the mid 8 figures in terms of the budget. And hopefully we could stay within those guardrails. Bob Iger really believes in the project. To what extent monetarily, it remains to be seen.
Wow, that's terrific. Wow.
That's impressive.
Now, gentlemen, before we get going into the brass tacks here for actual baseball stuff, what people came here for, 2 roads diverge into Yellowwood. What's that?
People came here for that?
Probably not, but the point is, the question, 2 roads diverge into Yellowwood when you're talking about the Goofy movie. Are you a standout girly or are you an eye-to-eye girly?
I like both. I like both, but eye-to-eye is
correct.
Eye-to-eye is so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, Standout is a very good song. No disrespect to Tevin Campbell on that front. We love Powerline. We love that song. But eye-to-eye, you're talking about...
Disrespect did both. What do you mean? He did both of them.
I'm not saying one is dog shit, one is not dog. They're both... At the very least, they're like, I would say Standout is probably like a high B-tier Disney song. But dude, Eye to Eye is, and I'm not exaggerating. This is not just for the bit. Eye to Eye is like top 5 Disney song, and I don't think it's 5.
It's also it's a very beautiful message as well.
If we listen to each other's heart, like
yeah,
maybe love is the reason why, Jake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe love is the reason why we do this podcast, which is called Pod on Lansdowne. We're happy to join us for this week's edition of the program. I am Julian Tavares, a.k.a. Fitz. We're joined by Jonathan Van Every, a.k.a. Jake, and also Troubled Monster, a.k.a. Liam.
Wait, his name's Julian Tavares?
Julian? Did I say Julian with a soft, J?
You said Julian, but it is Julian, right?
It is Julian, right?
Okay.
Julian Tavares,
right.
yes.
Okay. I was like, oh my God, have I been wrong all these 17 years or whatever? No,
Julian Tavares.
Fitz was wrong.
Had a bit of a brain fart there in the moment. It happens, but surely there'll be no other brain farts.
What an earworm.
This is going to be stuck in my head the whole episode now.
Well, remember it when we get to Song of the Week later in the episode. We got YouTube chat here. Adam, Kyle, Christy, as always, joining. Tim, tap it in. The Inksta, saying, what's good, fellas? The Inksta, Dinska? I don't know how to pronounce that. But the point is, we got the YouTube chat here popping off on this fine Tuesday evening. A fine Tuesday evening in the middle of spring training, gentlemen. Not a ton of Boston Red Sox news to talk about, but the tidbits that have come out got me feeling nice, a little warm and fuzzy inside.
Got you feeling nicey?
Got me feeling nicey, Jake. And Jake, it's got me feeling like you last week with the positivity, the hope. I'm taking that hopium as well. I'm taking hits of that hopium.
Nothing's happened the week since that would
suggest otherwise.
I'm making a motion with my hand. Like when you're at the dentist and they turn the knob to give you the.
I would say you're twisting a doorknob. That's probably a more easy.
I was saying nothing has
analogy.
happened. That's turning down the hopium.
Oh, there you go. The the valve. The valve.
The valve. That's what it is. Thank you. Yeah.
The thing that has actually increased the valve of hopium for me, these little tidbits about Alex Bregman, being the father who stepped up to the big three prospects. That's been unbelievable. I love it. It's excellent. He's riding on buses to games with them. He's being a mentor. He's singing their praises in the press. This is wonderful. And not to get cliche, gentlemen, but Liam, this is what we were talking about when we said that the Red Sox were in need of someone to step into this clubhouse and be a mentor, be a leader, be an example for this young wave of talent that the organization is currently flush with. So far, very early, haven't even played a single game that matters at this point, with all respect to Northeastern.
Oh, Northeastern, yeah.
yeah, we're on the same page there, right? But at this, it's still early, but early returns, at least in that regard, and the performance on the field. I mean, Bregman hasn't looked too shabby. He's shown some nice flashes this spring. So far, so good, Liam. I have to say.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. I can't fucking talk today, clearly.
Oh my god. Remember that?
I can have cheeseburger, right?
Ew.
Fucking A. Liam, take the mic away from me. Go ahead. Talk about the Red Sox.
I couldn't let that one slide. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Take my gun and shoot me in the face.
The official Boston Red Sox podcast of 2009 Redditors. The most epic bacon awesome sauce Red Sox podcast that there is.
Maybe Elon would come on.
Oh, maybe. Jesus Christ.
He's in the morning for DMs. But no, Fitz, like you said, I know we talked about it all winter and we sounded like such boomers, like the guys at the table with Brad Pitt and Moneyball, he's got the intangibles. He's got the hot girlfriend, fiance, wife. I'm not sure what their relationship status is right now. But everything with Bregman ticks the boxes in the clubhouse, on the field. We've already seen it. I think the fact that he stepped up and not stepped up, but offered to, ride the bus to Sarasota the other day. For a guy that just got here, I think it'd be super easy for other guys to be like, I just got paid a bunch. Let me ease into this, meet my teammates, get settled at the fort, etc. But the fact that he's jumping headfirst into the prospects and the organization itself, I think it speaks volumes. He was the right guy all along. Obviously, we've still got 162 games to play. So we thought Trevor Story was the right guy when we signed him too at the time. And, we've seen how that worked out. But all signs, guys, if this trend continues.
I'll speak to his leadership. He does do his camp every year and stuff. So that's
good role model in that regard. Yeah,
I'd like him to.
I'm thinking just a guy that stays on the field.
Before you continue your quote there, Liam, I can't forget this tidbit that I just want to. I think this is the fourth consecutive episode where we've referenced that specific Simpsons joke with Disco Stew. If these trends continue,
I love it. But no, all signs look good so far, man. The bat looks good. The glove looks good over at third. Shocker. I'm excited. We got our guy, and he's here, and he loves us. We love him. I don't know what more we could ask out of him. right now.
Right.
In the
And that
2 weeks
guy,
that he's been here.
right. And that guy, as we had just mentioned, Jake, is, again, being the guy to kind of show these young guys the ropes, your Anthonys, your Teals. Not Teals,
Nope.
she's a Meyer.
Not him.
Campbell caught myself. I fucking suck today.
R.I.P.
I got...
He's with us
Man,
in spirit.
My brain sucks today.
I wanted to
but
say
but the
about-
prospects are, Jake, they're doing great so far. But what were you going to say?
Yeah, with Bregman, I mean, it's really cool because even if he does opt out after this year, whatever he offers the big three is that's invaluable for just this season. I mean, just to have a real mentor like that, guy that's won. I mean, God bless Trevor Story. He's never won a fucking thing in his life. You know, he was on the fucking Rockies. Actually, I think they went to the playoffs once when he was there, right? I think like 19 maybe.
It was like
They were in that
17
weird
and 18,
wild
they were
card
pretty
game
decent.
with the Cubs. Remember that?
Is
yeah.
that what it was? Yeah, one of those.
And then
Anyway,
what? They
Yeah,
got
they
bounced
got
in
knocked
the
out by the
Astros.
Brewers once. Yeah.
Point is, Alex Bregman has 2 rings and he's walked the walk. And what I was gonna say is he probably saw Jeremy Pena have a great rookie year and then turn to ash, and he was like, "Well, this can't happen again." They haven't position players not doing so hot over there in Houston.
I mean, showing the ropes, especially if this team is in a pennant
That
race.
one bombed, huh? Sorry about that. Fuck it. Keep going.
It's okay.
It's all
Jeremy
right.
Pena
No, we
is
can just
solid.
keep
He hasn't
moving.
turned
Just
to
keep
ash.
moving.
He's just, he's just not winning ALCS
That man
and World Series
won. Yeah, that was
MVPs.
great, yeah.
Every year. He's still okay, and he's going to have to step up if Houston wants any, shot at making a run this year. But I mean, especially if this team, the Red Sox, make a run into October. Again, you talk about invaluable experience. By that time, you would think that Campbell and or Roman, maybe Marcelo at that point, are into the mix either as September call-ups or coming off the bench, potentially even playing further than that into October. So to learn from Alex Bregman, who has been there, 2 championships, plenty of deep postseason runs over the last however many years, there is something to be said about that. And if this is the start of something wonderful in that regard, that's great. I will say, though, not that I want this to happen, because I would like Bregman to opt in. Presumably, if he performs up to the standard that I think we all expect of him and know that he can perform at, I would like him to opt in. But I'd be lying to myself if I said it wasn't funny that after this 1 year, Bregman turned into the old turtle in Kung Fu Panda, and looks to the youngsters, goes, "You must continue your journey without me," and then fades off into the distant
Master
Arizona
Uguay?
sunset.
Uguay?
I think that's
yeah.
right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know his name off the top of my head. The Zoomers are going to yell at me about that because that came out a little bit after my time. I just know the memes of that from like fantasy football Twitter. If your running back tears his ACL week 5, it's like, Alpha Kamara to fantasy managers, you must continue your journey without me. But hopefully no torn ACLs for the Red Sox this year. That'd be nice. I'll say it.
I mean, fingers crossed, man.
When's we Sox have any ACLs in the recent years?
That's a good question.
I'll accept an MCL as well. I don't think
Isn't there a
I don't
third
think so.
ligament in there?
I feel like the only like major knee stuff we've had in recent memory has just been Pedroia. That's all I think of when I think of knees now.
Yeah. Well, that was like
the only baseball torn ACL I can think is like Schwarber. That was 10 years
Acuna.
ago. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
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 Want to see Jazz hit an inside the park home run?
right?
That MLB tweet.
Crazy
Classic.
caption for a tweet. That deep cut there, Liam. Liam, your brain needs to be studied. When I hope you live a long, fruitful life, but
I won't.
inevitably when you
I
do
won't.
pass, I hope your brain is donated to science so we can figure out how you're able to.
Yeah, Liam,
you're
can
like
you
an
put in your-
encyclopedia of memes.
Can you put in your will that Fitz and I can donate your brain to science?
Sure. Yeah, I'll add that in. I've got it written up already. So.
Okay, thank you.
Or can we
Yeah.
insert it into like a computer so we can create
Like
an
Zemo?
AI
or no, not
version?
Zemo. In the Winter Soldier, who's the Nazi that my
think that's right,
algorithm? No, Zemo is the one in Civil
Oh,
War.
the squirrely little guy. I know. Who
Yeah,
you're talking
it's
about now.
Toby. Whatever. God, we're awful tonight.
Adam in
It's
the
a
chat pointed out
disaster
that
over here.
James Paxton also had a knee issue.
I'd already
That
forgotten
is
about
true.
him.
No, it didn't.
That is true.
No, it didn't.
He had a knee thing, didn't he? Or like dislocated it or something like that?
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle, in the comments. Zola. Arnim Zola was who I was thinking of.
Of
So
course,
my
part of Hydra?
algorithm- Yeah, of Hydra. Hail Hydra.
Oh, was he the guy with the glasses? The like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
the oafish character there? The
The-
oafish Nazi?
No,
He plays
not
the same
oafish.
role in like every movie.
He's not oafish. He's like 4'8", and he's like a little scientist. No,
Yeah.
isn't oaf like a big
I think of like an oaf
ugly
as
person?
big and burly.
Yeah.
He's a tiny oaf.
Anyway, you guys want to guess how many postseason games Alex Bregman's played?
Can I? Well, figure he's
60.
no way more. Figure he's gonna play about 15
Oh, yeah, it's
to
eight
20 a
times.
year. 17, 18,
Yeah.
19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 8. What's 8 times? I'm gonna say 130.
Oh wow, Fitzy. Okay, you're ambitious. You're way over. Jake's way under.
Oh,
Okay, 97.
Mr. Fitz.
I'm gonna ride with Tim here and say 92. Tim in the chat.
No, Jake's closer. 99 on the dot.
Wow.
Damn.
All right.
With a slash
Damn.
line of 238, 346, 443 for an OPS
All right.
of nearly 790.
Hell,
Marshall
triple
was
that
trying
all
to
day.
figures
throw
this
in a
year.
guess there. If you
Triple
get
figures
over
this
here.
year. Am I right, fellas?
That's right. We'll
Say
get
it
him
again.
that 100th.
Yep.
And then some.
Oh yes, yeah. Get him to triple digits. Absolutely. I buried the lead on this. I didn't even mention that we have a Tampa Bay Rays preview on this edition of the program. My apologies to the Raise the Roof boys, because they will be on the program later on this episode. I completely was remiss to mention that. I was too excited about the Goofy movie mug. I'm sure they would understand. But we will continue our American League East preview on this edition of the program with the boys from Raise the Roof. They were on last year. Alex, fellow Arsenal fan, Liam. Alex.
Oh, bro. Hey, big one against PSV. Today,
Massive
man.
win. Where the fuck did that come from? 7 goals. With no
The George
striker,
M.
right?
Steinbrenner Rays.
The very same. The very same.
right.
Jake. We will have them on the program soon. The question I will ask you right now, should we go to break right now and save a little Red Sox tidbit that I had for the third and final segment of the show, or
Yes. Yes.
do we want to do that right now?
Take it to break. Give him a tease.
Take it to break?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take it to break. And when we return, we will have our conversation with the Raise the Roof boys about the Tampa Bay Rays. And then when we come back from that, or if you're in the YouTube chat, you'll hear it in about 90 seconds. We'll get to that last point I wanted to mention. Stick around. We'll return on Pod on Lansdowne. Hi, chat. Hot take, Wander Franco does not play baseball. No, he does not. All right. Let me just... So one of the boys got back to me there, so I just got to reply to the message. He just said, I'll let you know when I'm done with my thingamajig. Adam, should I start a crypto scam? You absolutely should. If I was smart enough to figure it out, I would do it myself.
Lansdowne coin.
POL
What do we
coin.
call that? Yeah, POL coin's a good one.
Hey, Trent Frederick got traded today.
I saw that. RIP Fight Club.
Is that a good thing, Jake?
I don't fucking care. I mean, yeah, yes, it was good they traded him. He fucking stunk this year.
Sam, we will mention Oscar's stuff later. In
That'll
this
be in the
third and final
That'll be
segment.
in Pod
That's
Off
right
Lansdowne.
for the third and
That's
final.
Yeah, it's the post.
Pod
show.
off Lansdowne.
Pod off. Lansdowne.
There are two. I had two other things outside. Well, one that has to actually do about actual baseball talk, and then one's a fun baseball talk one, and then we can get into Pod off Lansdowne.
I look pale as a ghost today.
Yeah, so am I. I don't have that
Hello!
iconic shrimp glow that they're
How'd
talking
you
about.
get up there? She's on the couch. Babe.
All right, we ready to go?
It must be the beanbag. She must have launched off of it.
Look where things are.
I love that everyone got the nice shot of me snorting and whatnot,
What?
clearing out. I just like just
Move
snorted
it-
a little
move
bit just
it.
now.
Oh,
I
that's
think
nice.
she jumped from the stairs. She must have.
Yeah, I've seen her do it.
Yeah, Adam makes a good point. Jake, you might have that stomach bug in the Red Sox clubhouse.
All right, let's get to it. We can mention that right off the rip, but before the actual point. But
Go poopy.
back in 5. All right, we want to say thank you to the boys from the Raise the Roof podcast. Very kind of them to come on onto a podcast from enemy territory to talk about their team. Very bold of them to say that they're going to be relocating to Montreal. You would think that as Rays fans, they would want the team to stay in Tampa. But no, they say no, just send them out to Montreal. But, that's their team.
Shocking, but hey, I mean, got to do what's best for the team, the sport. They're being selfless. So
They're just trying to see what's best. Our show is at On Lansdowne on your Twitter, your Instagram, Blue Sky. We're still on there. Just if people are still on Blue Sky, we are posting there, trying to get a little bit more involved with that, trying to stretch our wings, our butterfly wings, just like the Blue Sky app picture. At Pod on Lansdowne there. I am at Fitzy Mopena. Jake is at Jake Wallinger. Liam is at Liam Fennessy _. A reminder, of course, we are on YouTube every Tuesday night as we record during the preseason, regular season, and hopefully the postseason. If you want to be featured on the show, you can call our voicemail line at 617-420-2431. Again, 617-420-2431. Also, call our voicemail line if you're one of the Red Sox players who got the stomach bug over the last couple of days. If you're shitting and pooping in your doo-doo ass, we want to know about it. Jake laughing with the mic muted. You just trust me, he's laughing. He thought that was great.
Ha 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 ha. Sorry.
There you go. That wasn't even a real laugh. Get the sickness out of the way at this point, I would say. Don't let this linger to opening day. Pound your Gatorade, get your fluids in. They'll be okay.
Sports teams getting like illnesses running through sports teams post COVID is so tired. Like
COVID and the big 2025.
it's like COVID. These guys are out like in like 21.
Wash your hands. Did we not learn anything?
You'd be out like 2 weeks. Now it's like, oh, he's still a little sick. He's a little sick today. I don't care.
Again, did they just take a little nappy poo, flush out your system?
Who's got the bug?
It's
who
like-
Well, who did it say? I think it said Roman had it, and Marcelo, I believe. I'm pulling up the tweet.
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
those
like
two-
Willier,
those
I feel
two
like
are-
Willier lost like 20 pounds or something.
Those two snuggle.
Willier's
so
been
it's obvious.
out, yeah.
That's an obvious transmission.
Roman Anthony missed yesterday and today. His roommate Marcelo Meyer now has it and didn't make the trip to Bradenton. Alex Cora didn't say who else has. That's from Ian Brown earlier Tuesday afternoon. Hey, our thoughts and
measles.
prayers
They all have
are
measles.
with people with a case of the suds, as it were. One of those players who was not mentioned to have a stomach bug is pitcher Brian Bayo. But Brian Bayo was mentioned by someone in baseball media. That is, Saris of The Athletic, the big proponent of Stuff Plus. Gentlemen, he wrote an article projecting who could break out, who could take a big step forward in 2025. And his boy Brian Bayo was included in the article, which I found peculiar. Now, his Stuff Plus model, which is, pretty informative, he does say that his Stuff Plus model does not totally look kindly upon Brian Bayo's changeup. But he also added the caveat that, like, dude, just look at the fucking pitch. It's a Bugs Bunny changeup. He's got it going on. I think it's interesting because obviously you talk about the addition of Garrett Crochet into the rotation, Walker Buehler, who made his spring debut just a couple of days ago. Those are the big splashes
Looked
into the
good.
rotation.
Let me say,
He
let me say,
looked very
that fastball
good.
was running, man.
That's
was hot.
huge.
I was hot and bothered.
And Tanner Houck coming off of an all-star campaign, trying to build off of that. Things have been pretty quiet for Brian Bayo over the last couple of months. I feel like we haven't talked about him that much. So to see a guy who is in tune with pitching like Saris is, very interesting follow along, very insightful writer. For him to put his hat up, to put his hat in the ring for saying, hey, Brian Bayo could take a big jump this year. I think it's very interesting because Bayo, who had a very nice end to the year in 2024, started off shaky, but was able to kind of get things back onto the rails. If he can, build off of that into 2025 and beyond, especially after signing the extension, that's such a huge way to deepen this rotation, not to state the obvious, but listen, maybe this is more hopium, but I don't know, Liam, you saw the article from The Athletic. What did you think about it?
I did. And this feel like this is another case where I said it last week, but I feel like the Joker, where it's like people are starting to notice because I mean, Brian Bayo, obviously, like internally, he's a guy we all love. And I know you're out.
I like him.
We gave him an extension. I feel like you gotta love him at that point.
Which was not, which was fine. I mean, it's not
extremely
like
team friendly.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think people are still sleeping on the second half he had last year. I've got the numbers right here. From July 3rd through the end of the season, 16 starts, 91 innings. The ERA was 3.66. The FIP was 3.67. And I know, obviously,
and he should have an improved defense behind him as a ground ball primarily pitcher. Hopefully that translates,
which is big. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of his troubles too in the first half were the walks. But that's a good point, Fitz. I hadn't thought of that. So I think if he just carries that momentum into this season, I don't see why there's any reason he can't put up those numbers he did in 16 starts over a full year. Still made 30 starts, so we know he was healthy. I'm interested to see what we see from Bayo this year because I think obviously there's so much noise about Houck in the season he had, where Bayo kind of becomes the homegrown guy that people may be overlooking this spring. So, I mean, as far as Eno's article went, like I thought it was interesting that he brought up the changeup because I feel like since day one that he got called up, we were like, hey, he's got a great changeup, etc. So I'm kind of surprised the Stuff Plus didn't look kindly on it, but also Stuff Plus loves Nick Pivetta, so make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Like
your mileage may vary.
Yeah, so I mean,
you still need to pitch good.
Exactly. So take that with a grain of salt. But I do think once Bayo sort of settled into the season last year and I think acclimated himself to the Andrew Bailey pitching lab, because obviously he was a guy that liked to use his fastball. The start of the season, nobody was throwing fastballs. So I think now that he's sort of more acclimated and obviously has 30 starts in the major leagues under his belt, I don't see why he can't take another step forward this year.
And you talk about taking a step forward. You saw when he was first able to come up, like if you take a look at the Savant page, the pitch values for the sinker that he had as well as the changeup were encouraging. They took a bit of a step back last year, but we know he has the capacity to execute with the sinker as a ground ball pitcher. And we know that the changeup has some pretty solid movement there. The clip that Eno Sarris, if you have an Athletic subscription, I would check out the article. It was in Baltimore. That changeup made me feel things. It got chills, to quote The Rock and to quote Jake on this
to Gunnar Henderson
podcast.
Of all people.
Exactly, right? Damn good hitter. One of the best, middle infielders in the game right now. And what Eno points out astutely is that while the slider that Bayo has is not all the way there yet, it is, to quote Paul McCartney on Sgt. Pepper's, it's getting better. It's getting better all the time. The run value from 23 was -6 on the slider, got up to -2 last year. Not that that's great by any stretch of the imagination, but Saris points out that it's getting harder, throwing it with a little bit more velocity. If Bayo can introduce that slider more often and utilize it more often effectively to generate some swings and misses, that mixed with his ability to induce ground balls, that's the recipe for the breakout that article is talking about. It doesn't even have to be a massive jump forward in swing and miss stuff, in strikeout stuff, in if you name it. But if he can just strike out a couple more guys, miss a couple of more bats, get some soft contact on the ground with an improved defense behind him, wherever you play Campbell or Bregman or Seti, you name it. I know Seti might play the outfield, but he could play in the infield. You catch my drift. Don't yell at me.
In a pinch.
Right. Even if he's not an ace or a number 2 guy, that deepens the rotation so much. And then all of a sudden,
3 or 4 to have.
all of a sudden you've got
4
4 steady guys, steady at the very least, and someone with Crochet who has a ceiling of a Cy Young Award from winner legit. Especially in a playoff series like that, that's key to have. So while we haven't heard a lot about Bayo this offseason, I'm glad that Saris brought that to our attention, because now that's something worth emphasizing, I think.
I said it as a joke 2 minutes ago about Pivetta, but it really is just like he just has to pitch good for Bayo. The stuff that's never been. Oh, I don't know if he has the speed, like it's execution with him, and it has been for 2.5 years now.
And getting learning the ropes, like, okay,
2.5
like
years?
Don't beat yourself up after like one walk.
Yeah, he's
or
got
something like that,
2
or
full
one
seasons
bad.
under his belt now.
Yes,
Yeah,
and emotions. Absolutely, that's another big part of his.
That's
And
right. Yeah.
and we've said it on this show before.
He's
I'm
like
sure
a
if you go
woman.
back-
Am I right? Nah, folks, we're messing around.
Christy,
He is
clip
an
that.
he is an emotional guy. He is an emotional guy.
But that's gonna,
Which I like.
I think that can develop
Which
with
I like,
age.
but I
think
do
with
think-
experience.
Yeah, and I think in the first half too, like he was visibly frustrated as soon as something went wrong last year in the start. Do I think that improved over the season? Yes, because obviously he was getting better results towards August and September. But I think as long as he reels that in too, like there's a huge mental aspect. Like you're the guy with the ball in the hand, you're controlling the other team's offense.
Right.
I think I think he expects so much of himself, which is good, which is what you want out of a young guy. The good news is we've added Bueller, we've added Crochet. So it's not like he has to be the guy. We went into last season, he was the opening day starter. So I feel like he probably, and I don't know, we'll probably end up seeing this in the Netflix special too, just based off the clip we saw at Fenway Fest.
Please, we signed strict NDAs regarding that clip.
Of course. No, they took our phones.
Ted Sarandos is gonna.
I didn't sign it. I was in the bathroom with there. They missed me, so I could.
Okay. Great.
I could talk about it for no. And you're right, Liam. There is a difference between a guy carrying, like, obviously, hard on your sleeve emotions, and that's great. You'd love to see that he actually does give a shit about this. But it's different when you allow that to impact your performance on the field. That's when it's like, okay, let's kind of collect ourselves. Not to say that can't improve down the line. I think it can. And yeah, I think you raise a great point that even if he's on the back half of the rotation now, like that, maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off
It takes some
his
heat
shoulders.
off him. Like he's still this will be his age 26 season. Like,
yeah,
I think that's huge. If I would imagine he's your 4 right now, unless I'm forgetting somebody. So I think that's a great place for him.
Giolito's the 4 and he's the 5. But even if that's the case, it's still a pretty.
And
pretty
I'll
strong
tell you
5.
what. I'll tell you what. As far as this word gets tossed around a lot, he has far and away the most aura on the pitching staff.
Him and those City Connects.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's
when
not
he's got
even,
that yellow on.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah, he does have a.
So I think it'd be. Wow, now I'm expecting big things out of Brian. You know what? Even if we get medium things, I'd say it's okay.
Exactly.
That's kind of where we're
Which, by the way, going back to your point about the opening day starter stuff, Liam, not to shit on Bayo here because he was last year's opening day starter, but think where we've been the last couple of years. You go from Corey Kluber to Brian Bayo
Kluber, man. Pour one out.
to now. I mean,
Who was their 2020
Crochet to line it up? Right?
Their 2020 opening day starter.
That's a
Who's
really
Evaldi?
good. It was a Nate.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was Nate. Okay, and so then 21 must have been Nate as well.
That sounds right. Yes. No, that is right. Because John Means carved us up on opening day in 21. I remember that
And who was
vividly.
20? Do you know who 22 was?
Shit, I don't off the top. Where did we even
E-Rod
open
was
in
gone.
22? Yeah, Ed was gone. I mean, that Nate was still there.
Oh, I was there.
You were
I mean, if Nate was there, it probably was
Nate was still there in 22.
Yeah,
so.
no, it was it was Nate.
All right. So Nate got 3 years in a row. That's pretty good.
I was gonna say Nate has got to be up there in terms of all-time Red Sox opening day starts. Not like up there, but like considerable enough. Like, oh wow, like he's like
wow, he got a couple under his belt.
Seventh on this list of an organization that has had plenty of great pitchers.
I wonder. Oh, here. Okay. This we have a list.
Oh,
but this isn't numbered. So Nate had 3. Sale had 1. Lester had 4. Pedro had 1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
6,
6,
7.
7.
damn.
Clemens
Hey.
had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eck had 5. Louis Tiant had 3. Yeah. Babe Ruth had 3.
No, how about that?
Cy Young had 6.
How many did Henry Owens have?
Anthony Renato.
Alan Webster. Anthony Renato's a good one. LSU legend.
Your opening day starter, Ruby De La Rosa.
I'm gonna give you a year. Tell me who was their opening day starter that year. 2007.
07?
Yep.
Was it
Check
Shill?
it.
It was Shill. Good job, Liam.
Schilling.
2005. You'll never get this.
David Wells.
Yeah. Fuck,
Yes,
how'd you
Fitz.
get that?
Nailed it.
That MVP
Wow.
baseball
I
05
knew
knowledge.
I knew it was like out of the ordinary.
You'll never get it.
Yeah.
Instantly gets it.
That's the only one. That's the only one on here that's like in our lifetime. That's like a strange one. I would say.
Yeah. He was only here for, the 1 year? And then I think he went back to the Padres. He may have been here for 06.
Who the fuck is
but I think it
Aaron
was only 05.
Selly?
Aaron Seeley?
Yeah.
Man, that was the 4th Braves ace, man. The forgotten ace of the 90s.
He was our
Braves.
1995 opening day starter.
Good,
Well,
good
there you go.
pitcher.
Jesus
Good pitcher.
Christ. Tom Gordon was opening day starter in 97.
Dire stuff pre-Pedro.
Anyway.
Hey, I did see that. I can't believe this is 10 years ago now. I was in Philly for opening day in 2015 when Buckholz took the ball.
Hanley. That's when
he was the
Hanley
ace
hit
stuff.
2 home runs, right?
Special day, man. I
Yeah.
thought we were winning the World Series. Hanley hit 2, Pedroia hit 2, Mookie hit 1.
And then nothing else happened after that, and everyone was happy.
That was it. That was
The
it.
end.
What a strange season that was.
Bizarre.
That's probably the
You still have
weirdest-
like Shane Victorino in right field. Like,
Yeah,
it was such
it
a
was a weird
bizarre
team.
collection.
It was like, yeah, I mean, what was their starting 9?
Like
with
Napoli was on
health?
first.
It was like Napoli, Pedroia. Who was playing short?
Ryan Hannigan
Xander.
was the catcher.
Yeah, you guys know my Ryan Hannigan story in Junior's Cheesecake. Who was playing third? Was it fucking Middlebrooks?
There's- there's
Sandoval. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what the outfield was Mookie,
Hanley
JBJ.
and Victorino on opening day, at least.
Okay, yeah. No, didn't Victorino get hurt? Or was it my? Is that?
I know he
14?
was. I know he was there. He was there at least on opening day
Okay. Yeah.
because he got a nice ovation from the Phillies faithful.
Yeah, that was a weird team. Strange team.
You know what else is a strange team?
Tell me, Fitz.
The On Lansdowne fantasy baseball team in the Red Sox Podcasters
Ooh.
Fantasy League.
The big reveal.
The big
How'd we do?
reveal. Well, gentlemen, I'll tell you. 14-team league, head-to-head points. I haven't played a points fantasy baseball league in quite some time. Just for people listening at home, this was started. Matthew Crury, I believe, is the commissioner for this. He kind of got the ball rolling on this. Also, Ian Doran of Not Another Sox podcast got us looped into this as well. Podcasts. Red Sox Podcast Fantasy League full of all your favorite Red Sox podcasters, not from Section 10. I am the Pod on Lansdowne representative. All 3 of the Pod by the River boys are there. Justin Hogdale's in there. Ed as well. Ian from Not Another Sox Podcast. I just mentioned Matthew Crury. Doink's in there. Jordan, ton of Pesky Report folks. Sleepy Kev in there as well. A whole heap of
Pesky
people.
Report's got like a 26-man roster.
It's 25. and listen, I love all those folks in there. It should be a fun season. Way too long of a draft. That took like 2.5 hours last night, and it started at 9. So it was only 2 hours. But so, we had the 11th overall pick. Do you want to? I'll give you each one.
Was it Snake? Did you do Snake?
We snaked. Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a snake. I'll each give you one guess as to who we got first round. Also, before we continue, before you do that, very important thing. Our team name as it stands right now, and I feel like I have to ask you guys about this. As it stands right now, it is POL Fightin' Syriacos with an apostrophe for fightin'. Shout out Pedro Syriaco, the Fightin' Syriacos. My question to you both is, should we change that?
Well, we do smiley soldiers for a lot of stuff.
We can do that?
That's my only.
I'm cool with either
idea, but I don't. Fitz, to be honest, it doesn't affect me in any way.
You named them already.
It's representative of the brand. I almost called this the PLL perverts. I considered that, but I figured Yahoo's not going to let that slide. I could try it. Want me to try perverts?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, hey, worst case, we're the Syriacos. I'm cool with that.
Or perverts. Save changes.
Is it gonna flag it?
That's what I'm thinking. It might. It did not save. It might be. Oh, it did save. Oh, yep. There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
That's our name.
The pervert. There we are. So there we go. The pervert. So again, one guess. Who do we get first round?
NL or AL? Can you?
I'll narrow it down. It's a National League player.
Bryce Harper.
God, this is tough. I'm gonna say no. 11th is a weird. I don't know.
God,
This is
Liam,
terrible radio. This is terrible
pick
radio. Just
someone.
tell us.
No, just guess. I'm not telling you until you guess.
Shit, I don't know. Dude, I have no idea. I'm running through rosters.
Name a player.
Name Lindor.
Okay.
Lindor.
Kyle Tucker.
Oh,
He fell to us. Wow. We were able to get that value. So the starting lineup as things stand right now. My last pick was Alejandro Kirk. I was the last person to take a catcher. I punted on catcher. And I still think that's solid enough
that's
for
a good place
catcher.
to land.
Freddie Freeman at first. He was our second round pick.
Nice.
We got
Damn,
Nico
he fell
Horner.
to the second round?
Yeah, he did. So that 18th overall he fell? Again, in a 14-team league. We got Nico Horner at second right now.
Nice. Sophie knew Nico Horner growing up.
How about that? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We're playing some Yaz Flute over at third right now. Jazz Chisholm is third base. He also has outfield eligibility, which is part of why I drafted him. Had to wait a little bit on shortstop. We ended up with Correa. And if he stays healthy, I think that could be a good value pick. Outfield starters right now: Kyle Tucker, Wyatt Langford, and Michael Harris. 1, 2, 3 for the outfield. You start 3 outfielders. That's pretty strong.
Bit of a high risk, high reward outfield there.
I think so, but with the 3 of them there, with the steals that you get, and also, this was a value pick. No one wanted to touch this guy. Aroldis Chapman, no. No one wanted to touch him. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. He's slotted in at utility right now, but Manny Machado is a utility player, man. That's pretty damn good.
Whoa.
No one wanted him because of the Red Sox connotation.
I don't know where I stand on him. I
think he's still going to put up one for this year in a redraft. I think he's going to put up some good numbers. And again, if he's slotting in as the second, third baseman at a thin position anyways, I'm good with it.
That's pretty good.
I don't know, man.
I don't know why you're not. I would start him over Jazz.
He was not good last year.
Well, if I can do that, if I had to slot in, if I have an injury to Wyatt Langford or something like that, I got to slot Jazz to the outfield. There you go.
True.
Bench hitters right now, as it stands.
Wait,
You
can't just play Manny over Jazz?
No, I can if I wanted to, but right now he's slotted into a utility spot.
I know, but okay. I guess I don't know how it works. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like
I'm saying
like-
you don't
like
you
the
just
util-
have autonomy over that. Like you can't just be like playing third.
I could, if I wanted to, I could put Machado into the third base
He's running
slot.
behind
It's like a
the
flex player in fantasy football. It's like a flex.
No,
You know what
I
I mean?
understand, but you were saying like you couldn't. It's
No, I can.
It's fine. Okay.
I drafted
okay.
Machado first, so the system, or I drafted Jazz first, excuse me, so it slotted him into third. I can change
Okay.
it if I want to. The bench, Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt as a backup first baseman. That was late, but maybe some cheap power. But for the most part, I'm going to be playing Freddie, hopefully, knock on wood. Colt Keith. Dylan Moore for the Mariners plays everywhere, plays every eligible position. So just in a pinch, you can plug him in. Maybe he could catch you a couple steals. And then late in the draft, I wanted to take a shot on Garrett Mitchell from the Brewers, high upside player if he gets enough playing time. Pitching, I hammered a lot of hitting early on, so I had to wait on some pitching.
Oh,
I still
boy.
think I made out okay. I think I made out okay with the starting staff. Luis Castillo is the ace of the staff. Bryce Miller as well. So 2 Mariners at the top of the rotation. Bryce Miller's good. Spencer Schwellenbach.
Yeah, no, that face was Luis
I like
Castillo.
Bryce
Schwellenbach.
Miller more than Castillo.
Yeah, I like
Schwa-
Miller more than Castillo. Yeah.
Schwellenbach for Atlanta. Rodon
Okay.
fell. I got Rodon like 90
yeah, I
picks
wonder
past
why.
his value. 90 picks past his value? Yeah, absolutely. I'll take that.
It was
like-
for value. That's good. If you're getting
It
him
was like
late,
pick
yeah.
250
he
or something.
stinks.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Fitz, I hate this staff. I'm gonna be frank with you. I
Okay.
hate it.
All right, we'll see.
hate
AJ
it,
Puck is
Fitz.
currently in there right now. Fun fact, he's going to be a reliever, but he's slotted in as a starter. So I could put him into a starting role, and I could cheese a couple extra appearances when people aren't starting. So I like that. He also might end up being the closer for the Diamondbacks. So there's that. 3 relievers are Edwin Diaz. We have Trevor McGill for the Brewers. He's going to be slotting in for Devin Williams. Then Kyle Finnegan as a third reliever, maybe get some cheap saves. He had 38 saves last
rainbow.
year for Washington. Yeah, exactly. Then on the bench, we have Hunter Brown. We have I just lost my spot. We have Grant Holmes for Atlanta. And then took a shot late in the draft. I needed some upside for pitching. So I took the shot on Brandon Woodruff. He's going to be IL eligible to start the
Okay.
year, so that opens up a spot. But if he comes back and he's like his former self, we'll see. So those are the
Fitz,
perfects.
you're like a regular Heim Bloom. He loves his reclamation projects.
Exactly, right? Loves his reclamation. Dude, I can't put down the cup on Brandon Woodruff. He's one of my favorite pitchers. I think he's awesome.
Hey.
I cannot put down the cup.
If he comes back and he's healthy, I don't see why you wouldn't.
If those trends go back to where they were. Hey. I'll be sure to provide updates as the season continues. I'm sure you'll be rolling your eyes.
We'll need that. We'll need that. Tell us where we are.
One of
need to know
the
where we are
things
in
I
the
will die on
standings
is
every
I
week.
will listen to you talk about your fantasy team. Because I like talking about it.
You're a
People are like,
sicko, man.
I hate talking about your people's fantasy team. I love it. This
Yeah,
is
you're
a safe
sicko.
space for that
You're
with
a
me.
sicko
Maybe
with
not the
it.
other 2 co-hosts.
With
on
Fitz
this,
at
but
least. With Fitz,
me.
it's a safe space.
There you go. So we got Doink week 1. So
Ooh.
good luck to Doink, but not too much luck. Doink's got a good team, though. I will say. Shout out to Doink. Anything else baseball related, or can we go into Pod Off Lansdowne?
I don't think it's pretty boring.
I don't think I
week
got anything.
with the ball club, which is good. In spring training, boring.
Oh,
is good.
shout out Abraham Toro, by the way. Looking pretty solid.
Shout
right
out,
now.
shout
I
out
just had to-
Nick
I just had to say
Sogard
that.
too. Shout out Nick Sogard.
Yeah. Hey, Trace Thompson, come on the pod.
I know.
Like
Craig kind of
second in-
flexing a little with
second in the
those
grapefruit?
with those.
Hey, if we get Trace on the
MILB
pod,
deals.
we're only one step away from
Steph
getting. What's that?
Steph Curry.
Well, that'd be 2 steps away from getting Steph. Because
I'm sure Trace knows Steph.
I'm sure.
And Steph's a Red Sox fan. It's perfect.
There you go. Also, by the way, friend of the program, Hillary, said, Fitzy, because of you, I picked Scooble last year and finished 3rd in my league. So thank you. So again, this is a safe space for fantasy. I don't know what that buzzing hiss is. Do you guys hear that? What is
I
that
hear
buzz?
that.
What the hell is that? Are we good? Okay, we're
think
fine.
that might have been
But yeah, Hillary, you're welcome. Hillary, if you want a guy, I'm not exactly going out on a limb here, but do whatever you can to go get Cole Reagans because he's going to be a fucking monster this year. There's your
It's
lefty.
like Kramer.
Yeah, right, stonks. There's your lefty AL Central
a soundboard.
pitcher.
Sell.
Cole Reagans. But yeah, Sogard, Toro. We'll never lose another game. I
You
can't.
might not.
Jake, how upset are you that Amelia Perez didn't end up winning that much
Yeah,
on
I'm
Sunday?
a big fan. The Oscars, it was a fine show, I think. fine program.
I thought Conan did well.
Yeah, no qualm with that end of it. I mean, I didn't love some of the winners, but what can you do? You know, that's a game. That's the game they play.
What didn't you like? Which winners were you not?
Which winners?
Which were you like? Not so much.
Well, you know what the thing was? Like, I didn't love some of the winners, but there wasn't a movie this year that I was like overly passionate about either. Like last year, last year 23 was a special year for movies. Like Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer. I mean, just those two alone is like blows anything this year out of the water. But I mean, Zoe Saldana for supporting is absurd. That's like get real. And then, well, it's absurd because that movie sucks ass, but also it's category fraud. She's fully the lead of that movie. The same thing goes for Kieran Culkin. He's also he was definitely the lead of A Real Pain.
Or if there were two leads, it was one. But Culkin was excellent in that movie. I yelled at you on Twitter for that, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy. I thought he was fine. I thought there were better supporting performances. And Honora sweeping everything. I mean, I liked Honora just fine. I didn't think it was like some monumental picture or anything. But worse movies have swept the Oscar. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once was only 2 years ago. That movie is Reddit is down the hall and to the left. That's that movie.
It's a very anti-Reddit episode about On Lansdowne.
It is. Well, I love Reddit, but I hate Reddit culture.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that movie is the epitome of Reddit. It's fine. I don't know. I don't know. Last year was, and it's like a faux pas to say this, I guess, on like film Twitter or whatever. Like, it was not a great year for movies. There's down years for movies. There's up years for movies. Last year was It was a mid.
Same with music. Like this past year was an excellent year for music. It's gonna be tough for this year to top that.
Yeah, I mean, and you can just look at the Best Picture noms. Like I said, 2 years ago, it was like unbelievable. There were so many good. I mean, I said Killers and Oppenheimer, but The Holdovers. Like, I didn't love Barbie, but it was obviously like a cultural stepstone. Jesus Christ, what else was in there? Poor Things.
You loved Poor Things.
Yeah, it was fine.
Good movie. Good movie.
I you know, it was fine. I was just pissed that Emma beat Lily Gladstone.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed about it, frankly. But yeah, this year was just kind of down, and I don't know how great the rest of 25 is going to be. 26 should be an unbelievable year. A lot of like
you like movie prospect scouting.
I am. Well, just yesterday I saw a tweet.
Is Odyssey 26 or 27?
26. Just yesterday I saw a tweet that like, Spielberg, Nolan.
Well, you have the Odyssey coming out, yeah.
Jordan P. Well, that 26 fits. So
yeah, 26. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I just fucking said that.
I'm just for the audience adding context because it was a big topic a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Oscars were fine. I don't know. Did you guys watch the whole caboodle?
Listen,
guys,
Jake,
I'll break my silence.
Or leave me.
PTA. Yeah, absolutely. PTA is this year. I forgot about that.
First off, it was like 5:00 on Sunday, and I realized I hadn't filled out the pool. So I was like, "This is
Liam came in last.
I still have a million movies to watch, and I'm kind of with Jake. There was just like there wasn't anything I was super excited about. I didn't watch. I didn't watch it. I'll put it out there. I didn't watch the Oscars. So
well, I did because Liam. Even I didn't watch all. I only watched I think 2 or 3 of the movies nominated for Best Picture, and like in total 3 or 4 of the movies that were up for the big awards. But when it's movie's biggest night, and when it is the biggest party of the year, and Liam, when you're invited to the biggest party of the year, you gotta go.
You show up. You
gotta go.
No, you're right. Yeah, it was just, man. I wish Dune had come out like 2 months later.
Yeah,
because it should have run the table, and it got what? It got the Best Picture nom. It got
effects.
It did win one for the effects, but God, it should have been. I don't know, because like
Sound?
A Complete Unknown
Did
was
it win
good.
sound?
But, like,
It might have sound.
it was like sound
think it
or,
did,
or
yeah.
effect, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
It's kind of timing is a lot of the Oscars. That's not a new thing though.
Because I mean, oh my god, what was it? The Iron Claw, like came out just after the deadline, or like came out a week before the deadline last year.
I mean,
Like that got no love. That
Challengers-
movie's amazing.
Challengers.
Yeah. Oh
to
my
me
god. Yeah.
was literally my favorite movie last year. And it got fucking nothing. I mean, it wasn't even a thought. It was my two favorite movies. My three favorite movies last year were probably Challengers, Dune 2, and Sing Sing. And it was like fucking irrelevant at the Oscars, all three of those. Which is unfortunate. But what can you do? I'm just a straight white male.
Hey,
So, of
you
course-
won. You won. You were the best out of us three in your Oscars pool, though,
I did. I have the first spot that didn't get any money, I believe.
which is the worst spot to be in. I'd rather come in dead
It is.
last than that.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
You know
I
what
didn't
it
show up.
was? You know what it was? This year I let my heart talk a little too much this year. I was more pragmatic the last few years. But this year I was like, I fucking hate several of the movies that were nommed and like fuck, what sunk me? I didn't get any of the shorts right, which usually that's where you can usually build up a little bit of a lead. Not my year.
Yeah,
That's all right,
I mean,
though.
those are only short points, anyways. You know what I mean? Halfway, the first half of the show.
Jonah, that was
'cause-
stupid, but on no fucking planet. Sorry, Jonah just commented I risked it all on Tim winning. On no fucking planet was Timmy winning. They don't reward young men with Oscars. Doesn't happen.
Young women, though, they do. I did not know that.
Young,
they don't
yeah,
do
no,
it to-
they like rewarding young women. They'll never give a young man an Oscar.
That was my last hope towards the end
Fucking
because
The
I was
Whale
towards the front of the pack.
Austin
Oh my
Butler
god.
last
That's
year.
right.
Yeah,
Not that I mean I didn't love Elvis, but better than the
Yeah.
Whale.
Yeah. That was a weird one.
the way it worked out, everyone had double dipped on Brody for Brutalist, and I had Chalamet as my backup, and I was towards the front of the pack. So I was like, if Timmy can pull this off, because he had won the SAG award before the week before,
yeah,
so maybe he was
SAG.
getting some momentum, maybe it was signifying that would have slotted me right up towards the front. Now, granted, I also hedged my bet on Best Picture, so if Anora had won, I probably would have lost that anyways. So the first half of the ceremony, I was like, why did I...
Fitz, you gotta do research, man. Hedging Best Picture was a huge flop. No reason to do that. That shit locked.
I
That shit was
Well,
that shit
also,
was
but
locked
hedging on
after the SAG Awards.
at one point of the night, I was like, why did I hedge so many of the bets? And another half of the night, I was like, why did I not hedge more bets just to
I
spread
think
out?
I only hedged Demi and
You're not a
That was the
hedger.
No, I don't hedge. That was the only one that I was like, I don't know. It could really be there. But then it was
for those
very,
listening,
once-
you could basically go double or nothing on a pick. If you're really confident that someone's going to win, you can kind of double dip it and pick it twice to get more points. That's
Yeah.
how Jake runs his pool.
that was really, and then once Anora started winning everything, it was obvious that it was going to be Mikey. But I don't know. Cool to see kind of a nice small film clean up though. I mean, that's good. The industry's a fucking disaster zone, so
I tweeted it. I hadn't seen Anora, but my headcanon is that those are just all retroactive Oscars for the Florida Project, which is one of my favorite movies in the last decade or so. Excellent movie. Sean Baker.
yeah, I've
not seen that
Was
one.
Willem's really great in that movie.
He sure is.
I
Heartbreaking.
don't even think
movie.
he got nominated.
He did.
He did. Okay,
He did.
that's good.
Um,
Jesus.
Do I
yeah.
want to bother watch The Brutalist? Like I just
So
for the longest
so-
time it was like, oh, I can't find a theater to see it in. Now it's like on demand. I'm like, I don't know if I just want to sit on my couch for 3.5 hours. and
So
watch
I
this.
loved the first half, and I was like, "Oh my god! This is unbelievable." And then the
Good
second
score,
half
too.
the second half falls off a cliff for me. I was so fucking bored in the second half.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a shame. I mean, he's great. Like he definitely deserved the Oscar, but I just thought, the second half wasn't good.
I like how you pointed out that he should have done the Jamaican accent from SNL. Man. Anything else?
His speech was great because he, he definitely, it was great because he like, let me, I know what to say, I'll be brief. And then he didn't know what to say and he wasn't brief. He clearly, he wanted the moment of like, shut the music off. Like, this is my moment. But then he clearly had nothing in his head of what to say when they shut the music off. It was like one of those like, oh, I didn't think I'd get this far kind of things. And then he just rambled for another 3 minutes. Like, it was so bizarre. But I mean, he's one of the foremost actor-brained people on Earth. Like, he's one of the absolute most bizarre sort of like he has actor brain. I mean, he might be patient zero, frankly. So that was fun. I didn't think any of the speeches. Well, the Emilia Perez song one was really funny when they started singing and they thought like people cared or something.
Funny because we were laughing at them.
Yeah. Crazy fact I saw on Twitter today: the woman that that was like a team. The woman at team I was like Amelia. She sings the Ratatouille theme. It's like
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's her.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
How about that?
I know.
Ratatouille, another good score. That, to quote John Mulaney, that should win Best Picture.
And I think that's all I have to say about the movies. Gonna go see Mickey 17 this weekend, I think.
Oh, that's out this weekend?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I don't.
Rob will put my butt in the cinema. I trust
And Bong.
Rob.
That's fair. I
And
just
Bong.
like, I don't. Maybe it's the trailers are just weird. Because I just didn't like the vibe that the trailers were giving
They're
me.
probably
It felt
like that's got to be a
Reddit-y.
marketing team going
more
in.
Reddit-y.
And
It's a
editing
little
that in.
Reddit. It's a little
Yeah.
Reddit for sure.
Because when the movie was first announced, and then obviously it got like delayed, I was like, oh, I'm interested in seeing this. But then I started watching, like, trailer 1 came out, trailer 2 came out. I'm like, this just doesn't. It's not what I pictured it to be. So I don't know. Maybe the trailers. It's don't judge a book by its cover type deal. But
And I love Bong and I love Rob. Unfortunately, I don't really like a lot of the other actors in it. But I'm.
Who else is in it?
Tony Collette, who I think is super talented.
Okay.
but
They're gonna yell.
I
They're
can't-
gonna yell at you.
No,
for
but I
that. People
can't
love Toni Collette.
stand. I cannot stand. Like she's really annoying in a lot of stuff. I like she's so great in Little Miss Sunshine, and I mean Hereditary. Those are two very different
Hereditary.
movies, but
Great Knives
Hereditary.
Out as well.
No, see, I don't really like her in Knives Out. She plays
Oh.
that character all the time.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And Ruffalo, who I'm on and off about.
oh, I didn't
And
realize
also
Ruffalo
Steven
was in that.
Yen, who like I didn't even know he's in movies.
Okay.
That's Invincible. He's in like Minari. I don't,
Yeah,
And he
I
took
do
too
really
small of a
like
slice
the,
of his mud pie. And
the other guy. Oh,
That's
that's
right.
right. That's right. Naomi Aki is. I don't know if she's second bill or third, but I like her a lot. She was in Blink Twice that came out last year. She's good in that. The first thing I ever saw her in was in The Rise of Skywalker, and the fact she got out of that and like has a career is a testament to how good she is.
she made it out of the trench.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
that
like
movie
the
is so awful. It pisses me off whenever I see it on TV.
She was the stormtrooper that was like, we started a rebellion for you because of you, Finn. As if anyone would know who
The-
Finn is.
I'm the
Absolutely.
spy.
Killed his
Yeah.
character. I'll never forgive him.
Bad picture. Bad picture.
Songs of the week. Oh, emoji of the week is something related to the movies. Anything related to the movies, Fielder's choice.
Popcorn, camera, candy. I don't know.
You
The
name it.
movies.
The cinema. Song of
All
the
right,
week.
Fitz. Do you want Eye to Eye? You can have it.
I'll give it because I have a backup in case.
Okay, I'll do Eye to Eye by Tevin Campbell.
His name is Powerline.
And Rosie Gaines. I don't know who that. That must be the female vocalist in that song.
Liam,
Fine.
I'm
you can just
taking.
stand out.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to take Stand Out. Sorry, it's just too good. This could be a controversial one. A certain artist by the name of Drake.
Oh,
Nokia,
Ugh.
Nokia, man, such an earworm. I can't.
Oh,
it's
Liam.
so catchy. I can't do it.
no.
You know how many
Who's calling my phone? Who's
Do you know how
calling
many
my
songs
phone?
there are, Liam? There's
That
so many
aren't-
songs.
that aren't
I
by
like,
Drake.
I like it, man. It had to listen to it like 3 to 4 times. And I was like, you know what? I like this. This is good.
Liam, that's unbecoming, pal.
Sorry, I had to speak my truth.
Yeah. My song of the
Would
week.
you rather I fake it? Would you rather
Yes.
not be my
Yes.
own?
Yes.
In this situation, yes, we would. My song of the week, not to bring it back completely to the Oscars, but while we were watching the Oscars, Missy Mopania and I, a
Is Al
commercial for
Mal from Amelia Perez?
no, no.
Amelia.
We were watching, and one of the commercials came on advertising a new sitcom on ABC starring Tim Allen as a disgruntled, rough
Oh,
around
yeah,
the edges dad.
Gearhead
Yeah,
or whatever.
I
the
don't
fuck it's
remember what it
called.
was called, but Kat Dennings is also in it. And
sure
I,
is.
to the side, I just out loud to myself said, "Oh yeah, she's married to Andrew WK." And Missy Mopania said, "Who?" And I said, "Andrew WK." And she said, "Who?" And I said, "Andrew WK." And she said, "Who?" And it went on for about 15 more minutes. No, but I explained. I was like, "Oh, you know the song Party Hard?" And I started doing the riff, and she looked at me like I had 5 heads. So if she ever decides to listen to this playlist at any point, she will have the chance of hearing Party Hard by Andrew WK, which is my song of the week. Good riff.
All right.
Good turn your brain off and listen to Qatar go brr music. It's wonderful. Is that all we got?
I never really got an Andrew. I never really. It was like
I never
his nose
totally
would-
got into him
his nose
either.
would
It's just,
bleed a lot,
he has a couple of good
right?
songs.
that a thing?
No shade to his game.
He'd like get a nosebleed or something.
Yeah, That the cover of that first album is him
Yeah.
with a bloody nose, which you got to get that cauterized or whatever that's called.
Definitely not cauterized.
What's it called?
I don't know, but cauterizing a wound
Yeah,
is like
God, could you
burning
imagine doing
it.
that to your nose?
Yeah,
Oh my
no.
God.
What does cauterize mean?
Cauterize means like burning.
You, like,
so,
burn it.
It's like yeah.
Well, don't you kind of go in and burn it a little bit to like stop a hole from? Yeah, I think that's a thing.
Oh,
Someone back
feel
me
like
up on
usually
this. No,
just, like, plug it
I
up,
think it's
right?
cauterize. Cauterize your
Okay.
nose to like stop like a nosebleed thing. I
That
think.
sounds bad.
Medical listeners, medical perverts, chime in. Let us know.
Fitz is running the health department.
It's me and my boy RFK, baby. Well, it's 8:51 right now, and gentlemen, we've actually got a speaking engagement in about 9 minutes
Yeah,
that we
we
have
do.
to go to. Less than 9 minutes at this point. So I'm sure you'll be hearing that. But in any event, we appreciate you taking the time. Oh, look at chat. Fitzy is right, and I fear Fitzy is right. From Adam and
Wow.
Seth.
whatever. We're
That
done
happened to my
live
brother a
streaming.
few months ago.
We're not live streaming anymore.
That's
We can't risk people defending Fitz in the chat. Right or
every
wrong.
once in a while, I can get a defense as a treat. Just a little bit. I used it. My quota through like Memorial Day has been used on this. I don't know why I burned it on the nose cauterizing point, but it is what it is. But in any event, thank you for listening to this edition of On Lansdowne. We appreciate you very much for taking the time out of your day to hear us shoot the shit. And a special thank you to those who are in the YouTube chat, which we'll be doing again next week if you want to take part in that. Until next time, that's Jake, that's Liam, I'm Fitz, you're you. Go Sox, and obey your mother.
I'm Jake, and obey your mother.
That's new, saying I'm Jake.
Yeah,
and
are
obey your
we
mother.
saying our names?
Yeah, I'm Jake.
I'm
That's who I
Liam,
am.
and you're watching Disney
It's
Channel.
like 60 minutes. I'm Fitzy
Yeah.
Mopania. I'm Jake Wallinger. I'm Liam Fennessy.
Obey your mother.